So there is a lot of drama going on with Ben Armstrong, aka BitBoy Crypto, or should I say, formerly known as BitBoy Crypto. I mean, the guy rose right to the top, becoming the #1 channel on crypto in the world, only to lose it all and get kicked out of his own company. And there is a lot to this story. There is a lot going on here. There is sex, there is drugs, there is rock and roll. Or maybe it's hip hop. I'm not really sure. But regardless to all that, there's a lot to be said about his past life, what he went through, what he did to be able to get where he's at. And while there's bits and pieces of his life on YouTube from different creators, but also some from Ben himself, no one really interviewed him in depth about his past and what he actually did and what it takes, or what he believes it takes, to actually succeed and get where he did. Except me, because I have. See, not too long ago, I actually had an exclusive interview with Ben about his life, about his success, and what he actually went through to get where he got to. And the reason I have this exclusive interview is because he contributed to my new book that's coming out. As you may know, I already have written quite a few books as an author, and Ben contributed to one of my future books that are actually coming out. And I'm telling you right now, his story not only has a lot of lessons inside it, not only will you see the truth and be able to connect dots, but his story could be a movie on its own. So let's jump right in and let me share with you this under the radar, underrated, missed interview with Ben Armstrong. Today we're talking to Ben Armstrong, aka BitBoy. You all know him as in the crypto world. We're going to talk about success. We're going to talk about crypto. I'm going to stutter throughout this interview, and we're going to talk about Bitcoin. But let me start by saying, BitBoy, Ben, thank you for doing this. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Hello. I started too. Look at that. Thanks for having me on. Definitely, anytime I can get on and talk crypto or the business around crypto or the business around content creation, I definitely, enjoy doing that.
So let me start by asking you a couple of questions before you go into Bitcoin, because I have so many questions I'm going to ask you. This is going to be a fun interview. But before you got into Bitcoin, before you got into crypto, what were you like? If I met you in high school, what would I think about you?
I was crazy. If you met me in high school, you would think I didn't know what I was doing with my life, because I really didn't. When I was in the 5th grade, my teacher told my mom she had raised a circus clown, and ironically, she had raised a YouTuber. So, So, when I was young, I was lost, didn't know what I was doing in my life for sure, but I was always, always very good in school, grade-wise. I was not good in school behavior-wise ever. So, skipping school, cutting class, not doing homework, the whole 9 yards. For sure. But, that's how a lot of, successful people are. You get in school, you get bored. And that was the thing I could never have, I literally never studied, one time in high school. I also never did my homework, but I never studied. I got all A's pretty much. So I just, school, if it could keep my attention, I could pay attention, but I had a hard time, finding things that could keep my attention. So eventually, I kind of turned down some bad paths, just like a lot of people do in their teenage years, early 20s. And, eventually got on the right road and started doing entrepreneurship on the internet. Also, due to some of my past mistakes in life as a teenager, it led me down some bad roads. And so I spent a lot of my adult years also as the executive director of a drug program for teenagers, helping teenagers get off drugs. So kind of done a wide gamut of things. So now I'm just a pretty face.
What was the hardest thing you went through that you had to accomplish to get through to get where you are?
So this gets kind of weird, because we
all have those stories, man. Don't worry.
Yeah. So and I've told this story before for some people know for sure. But yeah, I was a meth head for like 7 years. I was a hardcore drug addict, and I overdosed. Got in a lot of trouble, got in a huge fight with some police officers, and, was facing a lot of time, and, went into a coma, was in a coma for 3 days, and then woke up out of the coma in the hospital, was in the hospital for 8 days, and had to face some legal ramifications when I was 24 years old. And I went to rehab for 2 years. And so it doesn't get harder than that. I almost died, I really, I shouldn't be here. So, because of that, and I guess my message to people would be like you said, like, we all have struggles and we all have things that we've came through, you know? And for me, like, it'd be easy to tell you like some hard business. I had a very successful business. I started a business, was making, you know, 6 figures within a year. And then because of centralization, it all crumbled. But that's actually what got me into crypto. I could tell you that story and how cool it, but the defining moment of my life, you know, was that, you know, laying on the pavement before I went into that coma and, you know, waking up and getting out of it. So, you know, my whole, you know, now I have a family, a wife, kids, you know, graduated college, did the whole thing since then. So, successful in business. And, but yeah, that's the 0 point on my timeline.
What made you flip though? What drove you to get out of that? Because that's a pretty hard situation to get out of, man. Hey, Paul here real quick. This video you're watching is not sponsored, so I guess it's sponsored by me. So if you want to work with me one-on-one or check out my courses, they're actually linked down below this video, where you can also find some valuable free webinars just for you. Please like this video and let's get back to the video you were watching.
Well, I think I had this moment where I realized that my whole life by doing drugs, I mean, I was just a bad kid, you know, like, doing drugs, I was really trying to push away like my family, you know, and stuff like that. Cause I just wanted to be on my own and getting high in the whole 9 yards, you know? But the thing that I realized is that like, that was actually kind of my greatest fear, was being isolated from my family, you know, and being isolated. Like I've got little brothers and sisters and, you know, my family told them they couldn't come around me. And like, that was devastating, you know? So I just realized that, you know, a lot of what I was pushing away was actually what I wanted. And I just, you know, changed my mindset. And, you know, definitely for me personally, there was a big religious component to that. You know, I went to a Christian rehab, and for me, that was what worked. I would think that should work for most people, but, you know, everybody has their opinions on that. So I don't go too hard on that topic, but, you know, that's what worked for me. And, you know, I wanted to live, you know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to live life, and, you know, right now I'm living peak life. So I'm glad I made it.
Right.
Life's good these days.
So is there a bit girl in your life?
Oh yeah, I'm married for sure. We've been married for 11 years and we have 3 kids. Our kids are 5, 7, and our oldest is about to turn 9. So, you know, very big on the family life. We like to do a lot of stuff, you know, baseball games, baseball coaching, soccer games, tennis matches. You know, I do everything there. So yeah, she's total opposite of me. You know, she's, some people I think had called her an extrovert until, you know, she coupled up with me, and now she's the quiet one, you know, so, compared to me for sure, but she's definitely my opposite. She balances me out, and, you know, my wife's name is Bethany. I love her very much. And, you know, we're very happy. She told me I had to say that.
You mentioned you had kids, man. May they live in long and with health and wealth. I have to ask, but you know that it's the right time right now. I just read this on Twitter, by the way, so I'm not going to take rewards for this. But I just read it's the perfect time if you want to save money this Christmas to tell your kids that Santa died in the pandemic. Hey, Paul here. Let me jump in real quick. If you're getting value so far from watching this video, then please consider subscribing down below and hitting that bell notification button. It will help me, and you get to watch more videos like this one. Thank you, and let's jump back into the video. Just saying, man.
That is dark. Well, I can tell you this. I don't know if Santa's going to die at my house. I can tell you that elf on the shelf, he done been killed. Okay. Elf on the shelf, he done been killed. He done caught COVID. You know, he don't wipe his hands on it. You know, he wipes his hands on it. He don't use sanitizer. He's gone. So, it's heartbreaking news for the kids.
So how did you get into Bitcoin, man? First of all, you got into Bitcoin, obviously, because you're a bit boy. At least that's what I gather. And then you got into crypto, which you probably diversified and everything. Mm-hmm. How did you get into Bitcoin? How did you think of the name BitBoy, and how did that go for? Because that's actually a lot of marketing behind that, man. It's not just, I saw you actually, you know, put a lot of work into that. So please let me know how you did that, man. How that all happened.
Yeah. So I invested in Bitcoin in 2012. And, you know, a lot of people think I'm a mega multi-millionaire from that, but I'm not. And the reason is because I sold it all, you know, made thousands of dollars instead of millions. I felt good about that decision back then. So I mentioned I had another business. I had a ticket business, online website business. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I sold concert and sports tickets. And I was posting on Craigslist. At one time, I was 1% of Craigslist ads. I had 15 auto posters and 5 computers. I had 20 computers running nonstop posting on Craigslist in the tickets by dealer section and front page tickets. If you bought tickets during 2010 to 2018, you definitely saw my website. If you bought through there, and 800,000 ads a day, it was crazy what I was doing. But then Craigslist, all of a sudden overnight in 2013. They just changed. They didn't like that they thought, it was like a nuclear arms race in the tickets by dealer section. So like everybody was trying to post as many as they possibly could. And ironically, that's actually probably the safest. The tickets by dealer section on Craigslist is probably the safest section because they're all part of a giant network of tickets. Online ticket websites, whereas the tickets by owner section, they're almost all scams. But they love to push the tickets by owner, and they hated the tickets by dealer because we posted so much. And I was the prime target. So they decided that they were going to change the structure, and they started charging $5 an ad in tickets by dealer. And so it went from free to $5,000 or $5 an ad. And you can do the math when I was doing 800,000 ads a day and see I couldn't keep that up. And it basically destroyed my business. But somewhere throughout that, for the auto posters, Craigslist has managed to get, because they didn't like automated software, they got his stuff shut down and he couldn't take credit cards anymore. So he had to start taking Bitcoin. So that's how I got into it. And then, after I put a lot of money into it to make the payments, what Bitcoin was supposed to be for. And so, right in November when things were really starting to hit a fever pitch in 2013, I sold out and I made a pretty good amount of money. And that was just dust that I had from making the payments, and it turned into thousands of dollars. And so I made that money and I was excited about it, but I sold it all and I tried to understand it. I met a guy through local Bitcoins at a McDonald's and we used the Wi-Fi to do the transaction. And I remember waiting on him to get there, like trying to learn about blockchain and Bitcoin and what it is. And like, I couldn't wrap my head around it. And that's why I always tell people, like, it's so important you understand what you're investing in because that guides your decisions. And so for me, I didn't get it. So I said, okay, I'm going to move on from this. Sold out. So didn't really do much. Me and my friend, another friend was kind of invested, and we would kind of watch it here and there over the next few years. Had a early Coinbase account, would buy and sell here and there, but ultimately I never held on to any of it. And so in 2017, when things started heating up, I'm just sitting there counting all the money I lost.
You didn't buy any again?
What's that?
You didn't buy any again?
Well, I had bought, but not large amounts because my business was crushed. My business where I was making, like high 6 figures went to where I was making like, less than a McDonald's manager would make, so I was struggling. I didn't really have a lot of money to put in at that time. And I was trying to grind through and work on other entrepreneurial stuff, but none of it was really coming through. So I didn't have money just sitting around to just throw it in at that point. So I had to just watch is the amount of money that I would have had went up into the millions of dollars, and that was painful, but it was that pain that really got me to get hey, I missed out on this. Like, is it over? Can I get into, is it still possible? Now that I understand, I'm still ahead of most people. Yeah. And so I jumped, full back in 2017 and, have just been grinding ever since 2018. We were in the beginning of the bear market, but I, being naive about markets and financial, charts and things, I thought, it'll come back, not understanding the breadth of the Bitcoin cycle. I thought it would come back.
We all went through that, man.
Yeah, we all went through that.
I did.
So, yeah, most people did. And so during that time, my friend and I came up with the name BitBoy. We decided we want to make an animated cartoon series called BitBoy and Hodl. Hodl is his loyal turtle sidekick.
Perfect.
And so the channel actually started out named BitBoy and Hodl, and there's animated stuff if you go back to the very beginning of my videos, and it's nothing like it is now. So my friend talked me into doing news videos, and the rest is history from there. I mean, 2 years of grinding and making a ton of content, not a lot of stuff, and then this year things really blowing up. And then my friend, he had gotten out of crypto for a while, and he's came back in with the positive sentiment. And he actually is the designer of my BitBoy collectible cards we're selling on.
That's a really good idea. I was thinking about collectible cards. This is a really good idea, bro.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's where everything started. So I mean, we released them this weekend. Over the weekend, we were the #1 seller on Rarible. So we sold over half our cards in 24 hours. So it's really going well.
Are you still working with your friend?
Yeah, so he's the one that designed my cards.
All right. So
He's a graphic designer. So we're
What's
like
his
working
name, man?
together
Give him a
now.
shout out.
His name's Justin, my boy Justin. Not
Boy,
my
Boy
Justin is
Justin
also my
or
podcast
Justin?
co-host, but not the same Justin. What's
Okay,
that?
got you. Boy
I got two
Justin or
Justins
just...
in my life.
All right, got you, man. Got you. Cool.
Yeah.
So what do you think it takes to... okay, you got into Bitcoin, and then you diversified. You go into other cryptocurrencies. You started looking into... How did that happen? How did you go from Bitcoin to crypto?
Well, I mean, you missed the boat on Bitcoin. People missed the boat on Bitcoin. Like, the biggest gains that people will ever get is over for Bitcoin. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to still make money on Bitcoin, but the altcoins provide other kinds of opportunities. I mean, look at Ethereum. The ICO is 10 cents. Like, look at where it's at now. I mean, a good friend of mine, he was a chiropractor, and he bought into the ICO at 10 cents. He made 30 millionaires in his office for patients that he convinced to buy it. So, and there are other Ethereums out there. I mean, we look at Chainlink. Polkadot's a little bit different because it launched so high, but there are plenty of other opportunities out there. And, the what we see continually, year after year after year, 40 to 60% of the top 10 cryptocurrencies change over. This year, we've seen more fluctuation in the top 10 than ever.
Yeah,
look
true.
at CRO. It came out of nowhere. So we have all these projects that have came out of nowhere. And there are other projects that next year will be in the top 10 that came out of nowhere. And those are the biggest potential gainers. Something that goes from something that's launching on Uniswap right now to a top 5 project. I think that Uniswap, the coin, UNI, I think it's going to be a top 5 coin. I mean, if you look at what Binance has done, and Uniswap's killing everything right now. It's already in the 30s, or I think it goes between the 30s and the 50s. So I definitely think that, we're going to see big stuff from that coin, for instance. So I think that's a really good opportunity. So I'm always trying to look for, I'm a gambler by heart. I'm a degenerate. I like to gamble. I like to play poker. I play in the WSOP, the whole thing. So I'm a gambler, and Bitcoin's just kind of boring. And I already know Bitcoin's not a currency. If people are still selling themselves on this narrative that Bitcoin's a currency, like, y'all smoking crack, like, that ain't ever going to happen. There are tons of currencies that are, maybe not as secure because the Bitcoin network's so big,
right.
But then 60% of the hash rate is in China, owned by mining farms.
You don't think Bitcoin's going to become a currency?
No, it's digital gold. Bitcoin is digital gold.
Okay.
It's not going to be the reserve currency unless we go through a process where we go back to the gold standard as the world reserve currency, and then people say, wait a second, Bitcoin is better than gold. We should move to that. That's the only possible way it can happen in that nature. But even if gold were backing all of our currency, gold is still not a currency. Nobody's spending gold. Like, I'm not giving you gold,
Let me give you a better definition. Spendable gold.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in a lot of ways, like, you could say that gold is spendable too. I mean, if I wanted to go and buy something and someone was willing to take it, just like with Bitcoin, it's free market. Then we can definitely, make that happen. But it's never people are never going to spend it at a retail store. People are, this is the little example I always use. I always say, imagine going into Starbucks and the barista saying, excuse me, sir, hold on while I open a lightning channel. Like, it's not going to happen.
It's still early tech. It might change. It might be. Anyway, that's a different discussion, even though I'd like to have it to you maybe at the end. Okay, you know what? I'm going to have a discussion with you after, later on in this episode, so people are going to watch this. We're going to talk about that, if you don't mind.
Sure.
For people to succeed in Bitcoin right now, though, what do you think in crypto? What do you think it takes somebody to succeed into crypto?
To succeed in crypto, it takes balls of steel. I will say that.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, literally, like, I try to think of a more tactful way to say that, but that's what it is. Like, people look at us and they say, oh, they're so lucky. They made so much money. They've done all this stuff. You don't know what I've been through in this business. You don't know what I've been through in my investing life. You don't know the day that I've lost $60,000 in one day. Like, you don't know those things. You look at the roses and the rainbows and the things that have gone well, but you don't see, the working 18 to 20 hours a day for 6 months straight. Like, you don't see any of that. It's hard work, like trying to trade, trying to learn how to read charts, doing swing trades or a business, like that is hard work, So, the advice to people that want to be in crypto is you have to be calm, which is ironic because nobody thinks I'm calm, but in a way I am. Like, I can look at money go down and go up in one day. And I mean, I took a huge loss last week.
Yeah.
I got in on a yield farming coin and it just dropped. I took a huge loss. And then I got a tip from somebody else on a coin that, they said was going to go up for sure. And then took a 50% loss on it. I had a lot of money in both of them, but I did the next day. I just went back to work, back to the grind, and, made some good trades and made a lot of it back. And now, a week later, I'm up more than I lost. But if you don't have that right temperament, like I have a good friend. I'm talking about, this is my best friend in the whole world. Like, he ain't built for crypto. This is the guy that was investing with me early on.
Yeah.
But he's not built for it because he texts me and he's like, he's got a bunch of, he's got like maybe, like $50,000 in Ethereum or something like that, and he texts me, he's like, dude, I'm down $4,000 today. I said, bro, yeah, that means nothing. Like, you can't even look at that. Like, unless you're swing trading and looking for positions to get in and out of, that doesn't matter. Like, what matters is the next year and where this is going. Like, we all believe it's going up. We all believe it's going somewhere. And that is what is important. Your day-to-day losses aren't important. Like, yeah, everybody doesn't have enough money to buy the dip. I hate when people are like, buy the dip. I'm like, people don't have, they don't have enough.
I lost everything on DeFi. With what?
Exactly. Like even people are like, you talked about this coin, you pumped and dumped it. I'm like, I don't even own that coin. They're like, oh, but you talked about, like, how much money do you think I have? Like, do you think I just have like literally an unlimited amount of money so I can put like 10 or 20 grand every day in every single project I talk about? Like, that's not a real thing. I talk about hundreds of projects, So, you have to have a calm nature. You have to be able to take losses. You have to be willing to study and learn and grind and gut it out and be able to, always learn from your mistakes. That's one thing about me that separates me, I think, from a lot of other people is, when I make mistakes, I learn from them and I do different things the next go around. So when I look at big losses I take, when I say, man, like, that information I got on that, like, it was just kind of out of nowhere. Like, maybe I shouldn't have put so much into that one. I'd say next time I say, maybe I shouldn't put as much money into this one this time because I remember the last time I took a loss. So that way, if I do, if it moons and you make a lot of money, that's great. But, you kind of hedge your bets a little bit. And so, you got to learn when you take those on the chin. I immediately always think, the first thing I think is not, oh, God, I lost so much money. I could have bought this. I could have bought that. I could have done this. I could have put this money here. I could have reinvested. First thing I always think is, that was an expensive lesson. Let's not make it cost more,
Right.
And so I think those are all, kind of the temperament you have to really make it in crypto.
So you say you're the hardest working channel in crypto. How did that come by? And is that also the advice you give? Work hard, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a lot of what I just said. We've actually changed the slogan of the channel. We've put that one away for now. Yeah, now we're just, well, I'm experimenting with some YouTube analytics on just not really having intros. So now I'm just saying, welcome to BitBoy Crypto. Every day I show you how to make money in crypto, and that's pretty much it. But I believe I am the hardest working channel in cryptocurrency. I think anyone that knows me will tell you there's not a person that can outwork me. With
the analytics, you might get a more retention time with the analytics too if you don't have the intro, but at the same time, a tagline is defining who you are and makes people connect to you. So there's this very thin line with those analytics, by the way.
Well, I've changed it a few times. I've changed it a few times, and I think that really, I think that is good to change sometimes. Yeah. It's always welcome to BitBoy Crypto. Yeah. So it's about, there was this time where, I was working, like I said, 16, 18, 20 hours a day for months and months and months. Now I've kind of built out my organization a little bit. I mean, I have 5, we're looking at 6 full-time workers working in the office with me. I don't work from home. I have a corporate office. And we're building an organization. So I'm actually trying to not work quite as hard. I actually took my first weekend off. I've been on some vacations, but outside of being on vacations, this was the first weekend I've taken off in years. So, I'm trying to now do a little more family stuff and go home in the evenings and home on the weekends and things like that. So, we grinded and we did it. And now we're trying to, hey, let's enjoy life a little bit,
So in YouTube, so other than your YouTube channel, the Bitcoin crypto, and other than your cards, that you made, what else are you doing in crypto or in general? Like what other ventures or projects
So
or?
much. Yeah, so much. We have so much going on. Like it's insane. Like I'll hire somebody and then all of a sudden I'll turn around, we need somebody else because we're just doing so much. We're building an empire here at BitBoy Crypto.
Nice.
When people think about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, they think BitBoy Crypto. Like that's what we want. And then we actually want to expand that to other areas, tech, stocks, you know, video gaming. Like we want to expand that at that point. But right now, you know, we want to really, we're not, I see other YouTubers. I like them. They're great guys. I have a lot of friends. Not all of them. There's a couple, you know. But, you know, in general, I get along with all the other YouTubers. We're in groups together. We like each other. We collaborate, whatever. I like those guys. But what I'm trying to do here at BitBoy Crypto is bigger than everything that they're doing. And we're going bigger, going home here. And so we try to take things from a longer term mindset. You know, where are we going to be in 5 years? We're not going to be retired sitting around doing nothing. We're going to, you know, be a conglomerate. You know what I mean? That's what we're looking for. So we have bitboycrypto.com, which is our news site. It's currently being redesigned. We're looking to make some big changes on that soon. Making that really pop off. We are doing obviously the BitBoy collectibles, the NFT cards on the Rarible platform. We are also we're maybe looking to launch our own NFT platform. That's something that we might also be doing. We're looking to launch our own Uniswap type exchange. So a decentralized exchange. Probably call it BitBoy Swap. Haven't decided yet. We're working on a wallet. We're working on a token. What's that?
BitSwap.
Yeah. Yeah, BitSwap, BitBoy Swap. But then I don't know. I might have all kinds of lonely housewives wanting to, you know, wife swap with my wife or something like that. You know, if I say BitBoy Swap, you know, gotta hands off on that, ladies.
I'm working with a team. We have instaswap.io.
There you go. Okay, that's a nice one. So yeah, the swap thing is big right now. So we got that going on. And then, you know, I also have a totally other thing on TikTok. On TikTok, I've got 2.5 million followers. I have a YouTube channel with 60,000 over there. I haven't really done anything with the YouTube channel lately because it's just crypto's going so well. But I have the most followers in crypto of anyone. When you add my TikTok on top of it, I mean, I'm over 3 million followers total. So, you know, good try, guys. I'm number one.
You're dominating.
But in all seriousness, yeah, because of the TikTok, it really does push me above every. You know, I don't do as much crypto stuff over there, so some people might, dice that up a little bit. But yeah, and then there's other things. I wish I had my board in front of me. We're getting a whiteboard installed in here so we can draw a web with all the different stuff we do. Because I've got the Beards and Bitcoins podcast. So that's got its own thing. I have the BitBoy Lab, which is our paid Discord server. We're doing stuff with Sand and Sandbox. So we're actually creating, we're going to be doing stuff in their virtual world for their game. We got that going on. And I mean, there's probably 4 or 5 other things.
Tell me a secret that no one knows that you're doing, a secret that no one knows for the Crypto Factor, which is this channel and also the book.
Yeah, well, I've actually already revealed it. I haven't told anyone that we're doing a wallet. We're doing a wallet. We're doing a token
wallet.
And yeah, and we're looking to do a BitBoy exchange.
You are the hardest working person in crypto, I must say, man.
It's a lot. And you, I have good people around me too. You know, I mean, that's a lot of it. Like my editors are incredible. I just said that. I was hoping one of my editors heard it over there, but she's not paying attention. She's got headphones in. My editors are incredible. She still didn't even bat an eye. So anyways, I got incredible editors. I have a business manager that's incredible. I've got an assistant that's incredible. Social media people that are incredible. And, you know, together, that's, you know, BitBoy Crypto is not, you know, BitBoy is my character. BitBoy is the face you see when you look at my channel. Not the videos, but you see the logo. That is BitBoy. I am Ben. My name is Ben Armstrong. You know, I'm Ben from BitBoy Crypto. BitBoy Crypto is not me. It's my team. It's everything we do together. And so, you know, eventually we're actually going to start having different hosts on the channel and things like that down the road. Hopefully, maybe that'll be something we'll do. But so yeah, we do a lot of stuff, but I can't, like, you know, I'm a NASCAR guy right now. I won't thank my sponsors, and I want to tell everybody, like, you know, the team here, the number 46 car, we really did it. We made it. You know, it's really the guy that was changing my tires. He did a great job. That's how I feel. You know, it's really like that. Like I really have surrounded myself with great people that help propel us forward.
Nice. You should try doing a competition. People can send in videos. That way you have videos. It's win-win, and you could also choose people for your channel. Do
Oh,
you
that's
have
a good
any
idea.
daily habits and morning rituals? I'm a marketing guy, man. Do you have any daily habits and morning? I can't help myself. Any daily habits
Uh,
and morning rituals?
well, my wife probably wouldn't like it if I said it, so
Okay. Okay.
that was a joke. I don't know if
Say
you
it
guys get that,
quietly.
but kind of serious too.
Good.
But in all seriousness though, I mean, you know what? I had to talk. I'm just gonna out this guy. I'm just gonna out this guy right now. That Crypto Zombie is a good friend of mine. I love him. A lot of you guys know him probably who are watching, and he is a phenomenal dude. Like I've been in some tough spots, and he's helped me out in different ways. But we had a conversation. We were in San Francisco for the Warren Buffett lunch that didn't happen, where we actually got to eat his food, which was great.
Which is cool. Yeah.
But yeah, it was duck. We ate duck. We had a 3-star Michelin restaurant in San Francisco. It was really fantastic. But I had a conversation with him out there, and we were talking about how late we sleep. And he was telling me he gets up every morning at 5 a.m. He gave me his whole ritual, everything he does. I was like, bro, that's crazy. Like I'm sleeping till like 10. You know what I'm saying? I'm sleeping like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
I'm just like enjoying the life working from home. Now my channel also sucked. And the way that he reacted to that, like it really threw me off. He was like, bro, you what? You get up at and it was like I could immediately see in his face. It was like, that's why you're not really doing well. Like you're getting this late start on the day. You're whatever. And so from that point forward, I got home, and this was about in July of last year, and I decided to change everything I did. So started getting up early. Started putting more emphasis on what I was eating in the morning, and my ritual in the morning, my schedule. And so really for me, like a lot of the secret to as far as my day structure goes, I mean, it's just getting up early in the morning. I'm a late sleeper. Like I like to sleep late. So here's my ritual. I have an alarm clock on my phone where I must solve 6 complicated math problems before it will shut off. That's my secret right there. It's a true story. It's the only way I can get up. If I cannot get
your phone.
Yeah, and even if I'm like really tired and I'm really struggling and like maybe I got to go to my calculator to solve it, like even having to go to the calculator fast enough because there's a timer. If you don't respond in like 10 seconds, it means you start over. You got to do 6 more. So yeah, that's the secret. The math
old
alarm.
school, an old school version of this. So I used to do this, man. When I was young, I used to put like 2, 3, 4 alarm clocks around the bedroom, but I had to get up to go turn it off, and I have another one, and so on. It's ridiculous.
We all did that, man. I think we all did that when we were in high school and college, right? That was the way that it was done. That's the only way you could get up. I had a friend who used to put it on the other side of the room, and he would hit the snooze button every 10 minutes for 12 hours.
So if you could change one thing in the past, what would it be?
Well, I mean, I wish I wouldn't have sold my Bitcoin. I mean, my whole life would be different. Like if I would have just, and it's not just, if I wouldn't have sold my Bitcoin, it's if I would have really taken the time to understand the problem that Bitcoin was trying to solve, then maybe not understanding the little, nuances of things wouldn't have been that bad. As long as I could understand the problem I was trying to solve, and I couldn't see the problem back then, I guess, because, I was just focused on what I was focused on. So, that's definitely a big thing that I would change.
All right. Let me know, what are your favorite channels? Actually, not even that. Who do you think people should follow in crypto to learn about crypto? People that want to succeed in crypto. And also, and I'm not talking about just people that want to do trading, because it could be anything. It could be trading, it could be programming, it could be marketing, it could be a whole bunch of stuff. Who should people follow, and why?
Yeah, well, I like Elio. I mean, Elio trades. That's my boy. We're real tight. I'm only going to give you people I like,
Okay.
obviously. So, Elio is a good friend of mine, and he's got, he's the smart dude in like a real nerdy but cool way. Like I usually don't dig on the nerd stuff, but he's got a nerdy side to him. He's also got a real cool stuff. What's that?
I watch him sometimes.
Yeah, he's good. So I like Elio, and then I also Crypto Zombie. If you want news, I mean, that's the news guy. If you want the news, you want to know what's going on in crypto every single day. Go hit up Zombie. That's definitely somebody who I'm big on. And then some underrated people. You got Crypto Stash is a guy I really like. Wendy O, obviously. Crypto Wendy O. She's good for charts. And yeah, Those are 4 people I could throw out there that I really like and do a good job, and I watch.
All right. Who's your favorite maxi Bitcoin? There was this question on Twitter the other day. It's like they were talking about somebody, I don't know who it was. It was like, I got to diversify. I think it was crypto. And it's like, I have to diversify who I listen to. Suggest some maxis, some Bitcoin maximalists to me so I
only
can
one.
follow.
There is only one maximalist I like. I hate maximalists.
Okay.
They're the scum of the world. I hate them. I make fun of them in videos nonstop because they're living a delusional fantasy where billions and billions and billions of dollars in these other projects don't matter, So, so there's only one, Brecky von Bitcoin, old BVB. Does Brecky, you look him up on Twitter, Brecky. I think his username is at BVBTC, Brecky von Bitcoin. Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. We've been friends. We actually started our the first account I created was an Instagram account. We created those accounts in the same week, and we message back and forth. We've been good friends ever since. But I literally hate every other one, so I can't even be like, hey, yeah, this one guy's got okay. Gary Leland. I like Gary Leland pretty good. Okay, he does the BitBlock Boom Conference. Once again, I think Gary. He was a friend of mine before he was a maximalist. That's the only way you get in my maximalist light club. If you were a friend with me when you had altcoin investments, then we can still be cool. But if I met you as a maximalist, you dead to me.
What are some non-Bitcoin or non-crypto people you follow?
Joe Rogan. Really like Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan?
Yeah, okay. I really like Joe Rogan. Gary Vaynerchuk, I'm not like a huge I don't follow everything he says, what I'm saying? But I like Gary V pretty good. He was on TikTok. He was the first guy that I really watched on TikTok that I was like, he's saying the same stuff about TikTok that I'm saying. I was telling all my friends, this is the future, and people weren't really feeling it, and so that was some good confirmation. So I like that. I follow some sports people. I can't really even think of, any of their names now, but, I'm big on, I follow our local Atlanta sports guys. I'm a Falcons fan, so it's real sad, but, so that's pretty much it.
All right.
I have a lot of time to follow a lot of people.
Yeah, I got the same problem. I follow Patrick Bet-David a lot from Valuetainment and stuff like that. So let's do this because I know you don't have a lot of time. Let's do this, right? And we can always, if it's okay, we can always have you back on the show so we can continue.
Absolutely.
This. Is that okay with you? Because I want to talk about Bitcoin, Bitcoin being money and stuff like that. Because that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. Tell me when people can find you, and then we're going to go on to a lightning round where I'm just going to ask you something, and you're going to answer the first thing comes to your head, okay?
Yeah,
so
sure.
Where can people find you? Where people can look up? Would you, show your stuff, man.
Okay, you guys find me on Instagram and Twitter at BitBoy_crypto. You guys can find me on YouTube, BitBoy Crypto. If you just type in BitBoy, it'll come right on up. And you guys can find me my Telegram groups, Discord. I got all kinds of other places, but also make sure you check out my podcast, Beards and Bitcoins.
Beards and Bitcoins. Okay. So you ready for that lightning round?
Yep.
Okay, good. So the first thing that comes to your head, lightning.
I want to say round because you just said round, but I would say
true, right?
NHL Finals.
Okay. Bitcoin.
I'm not a nerd. Sorry, what'd you say?
Bitcoin. I'm not a nerd. Okay.
Bitcoin orange. Okay. Orange coin bad.
Okay. Crypto.
Degenerate.
Satoshi.
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is Nakamoto because you just say it together so much, but mysterious.
Craig Wright.
Scammer.
Tone Vase.
Douche.
Andreas Antonopoulos.
He's all right.
He's all right. Ivan Ontak.
I like Andreas pretty good. He's okay.
He's Greek. You have to like him.
I had him on the podcast, and he cleared up some of my issues I had with him. So Andreas is good with me, but he all right.
All right. Ivan Ontak.
He's one of the only people with doing kind of similar stuff to me with the Empire thing. I think Empire. Mm-hmm. That's what I think of when I think of Ivan. I like Ivan. So Empire.
Nice. Success.
Freedom.
Money.
Inflation.
Couple more. Banks.
Mighty Ducks. He earned his
DeFi.
wrist, but he still played.
DeFi.
The hype bubble. Let's do it.
Okay. Decentralized.
The way it should be.
Love.
My wife.
Hate.
I cannot say his name.
Why?
Legally, I'm not allowed to say his name.
All right. Should I skip that?
No, that's good. We just say legally I can't say his name. That's fine. I think I can say that.
Okay. Trump.
The person who shall not be named. That's another way I refer to him as.
Trump.
Okay, make America great again.
Biden.
Dementia. Dementia.
NFT.
BitBoy collectibles on the Rareable platform.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for this interview. I really enjoyed it. I look forward to having you back again so we can get more into it. Hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to subscribe down below if you enjoy these kind of videos, and check out this video right here or this video right here next. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.